video I am going to be talking about the structure of the heart. Now I'll just talk about the basics first, and it is that it goes like this. The heart is divided into four main sections: the left atrium, the left ventricle, the right atrium, and the right ventricle. And they are separated by the septum, which I will talk about later. So let's get into it. So blood, or deoxygenated blood, which is basically blood that was pumped around the body and then came back without or with a low content of oxygen, as it had been diffused into cells through the capillaries, comes through into the right side of the heart. Now you guys might be wondering why right, because this is the right. Well, when you're studying the structure of the heart, the right is the left and the left is the right. So blood enters into the right side of the heart through the vena cava. It either enters from the vena cava, which is comes from the body, or it comes from the vena cava, which comes from the head. So when blood is flows into the left hand side, it first enters the left not left, right. I'm even getting confused with this. So right atrium. So how it's done is that the right atrium relaxes its muscles in order for deoxygenated blood from the head and from the body to enter into the right atrium. When the right atrium is full, or it cannot handle more, it can't hold more blood, it then contracts its muscles, which pushes or forces this valve over here, which I'll talk about, to open, which leads into the right ventricle. Okay, so about this valve. Now valves in the heart are what the atria are. Valves in the heart are what, how can I say it, but they ensure that blood is going in the intended direction. So this is one of the valves, and this ensures that blood goes into the ventricle and not back. So these things over here, you guys might be wondering what these are. So I'll talk about that. When the right atrium relaxes its muscles, the valve is closed, and these things support the valve in order that if it was closed, these things would be like this. This allows the valve to go up to an extent, because if it weren't for these, the valve would move a little higher, which could cause the amount of deoxygenated blood coming from the head and from the body to decrease. So the capacity of capacity of blood which the right atrium could hold would be less, which I think would cause problems. But anyway, so therefore the right atrium pushes or contracts its muscles, allowing the atrioventricular valves to open due to the pressure, and blood moves into the right ventricle. When blood moves into the right ventricle, the muscles of the right ventricle are relaxed. Okay, when they're relaxed, then what happens is, when it reaches a certain capacity, the right ventricle then contracts its muscle, which moves the blood all the way up through here. When it does contract, that means that the right atrium's muscles relax. So it's kind of like a contrast. So muscles over here relax, blood flows in, contracts, open the valve, the muscles at this point are relaxed. This contracts its muscles, and this relaxes its muscles. When this is relaxed, or the right atrium's muscles are relaxed, the valve is closed. So the blood is pumped through here, through the pulmonary artery, in and into the lungs. So, and here's another valve which ensures blood is moving in the intended direction, called the semilunar valves. So when blood flows into the pulmonary artery, the artery divides itself into smaller capillaries. These capillaries surround the alveoli or alveoli in the lungs, which allows oxygen in the alveoli to diffuse easily into the capillaries as a result of large surface area. These capillaries gradually join to carry back oxygenated blood through the pulmonary veins. So, pulmonary veins. These pulmonary veins are then, it's kind of like the same thing, that the left atrium relaxes its muscles, allowing oxygenated blood to move in. When it's reached a certain capacity, it contracts, forcing the atrioventricular valve on the left side, on the left side of the heart to open. I forgot the R here. Ventricular to open, and therefore allowing the left ventricles muscles to relax in order to allow oxygen blood to move in. When it does reach a certain capacity, then it pumps it through this semilunar vein over here, which I talked about. So I'll just over here again, and it pumps it through the aorta. The aorta sends the blood all around the body. Now I'll just draw a small diagram to show what happens to the blood. So let's say, okay, let's just draw a small circle which represents the heart. Whoopsie. So okay, and this over here again is called the aorta. Okay, now the diagram is that, let's say this over here is the heart. The heart takes in blood through the vena cava from one of these areas. Let's say this is the head, and this is the body. It takes deoxygenated blood and it passes through all of this into the lungs. So then it goes into the lungs. The lungs in the alveoli then diffuses oxygen into the capillaries. These capillaries then gradually rejoin to form the pulmonary veins, which enters the heart, the pulmonary veins over here. Then the same thing happens, and blood is pumped throughout the body through the aorta over here, as we mentioned. The aorta then gradually divides itself into smaller capillaries, which allows cells that need oxygen, for oxygen to diffuse through the capillaries into other veins, which allows the cells in need of oxygen to get oxygen. So this cycle keeps on repeating. Now I forgot to say something, that this over here is what divides the right hand side and the left hand side. This is called the septum. So I'll just do a quick recap of what we did. Okay, deoxygenated blood comes through the vena cava. Right atrium relaxes its muscles. When it does so, it then reaches certain capacity. Blood pumps, contracts muscles. Atrioventricular valves opens. Right ventricle relaxes muscles, reach certain capacity. Atrioventricular valves close. Pumps blood through pulmonary artery. Semilunar valves open by the pressure. Pulmonary artery divides into capillaries. Capillaries allow alveoli diffuse oxygen through the alveoli into capillaries. Capillaries gradually rejoin to form pulmonary veins. Pulmonary left atrium relaxes its muscles to allow oxygenated blood to enter, then reaches certain capacity. Contracts muscles to allow atrioventricular valves in the left side to open, left ventricle relaxes muscles, then it contracts its muscles when it reaches certain capacity, pumps it through the sublunar veins into the aorta through the body, and this divide the left side and the right side are divided by the septum. Thank you.